Hey guys, it's Mrs. Lamphere, and I'm just putting a short video together to kind of give you a tour of our classroom, and this is for our class Computer Fundamentals. So, on this first page, this is our course homepage, so this is the homepage of our virtual classroom. And at the top here, you'll see these are the announcements for the class. So, whoops. There are some kind of general announcements in here to start with, so make sure you're reading through each of these. And from here on out, I will be posting weekly announcements with information about upcoming assignments, what we're going to be doing that week in class, and so on and so forth. So make sure you're reading those announcements each week to stay caught up with what's going on in the class. I do have a couple of these announcements I will be updating regularly. This Class Connect recording library, this is where I'm going to post the recordings to our Class Connect sessions. So these are kind of here at your disposal if you want to go back and review something from the recording, or if we have a test coming up and you want to make sure you covered that information, watched again the recording, whatever you want to do, those recordings will be available to you here. And then I also have this assignment video library, and this is where I will post links to the videos that will help you on assignments. So maybe I'll do, if I know everyone's going to struggle on a certain area of assignment, I'll record myself completing that assignment or starting on that assignment and then post that video here so you can get help and kind of watch and be guided through that assignment. Also on our course homepage, I will be posting kind of a snapshot view of what you can expect to be working on that week. So for instance, this first week of class, I know they're mainly set aside for Study Island and Scantron testing, but I do have a couple just small, easy assignments for you to complete as well. These are just kind of there to make sure you're getting into the classroom and kind of looking around, getting familiar with everything before we really dive in on Monday. So pay attention to that. I have a Instant Messenger chat box here available to you. This is a great way for you to communicate with me. I sit at my computer pretty much all day, every day. So if you're ever in the class and you come up with a question or you just want to say hi, you can hit me up in this chat box. Be sure to always include your name and the class that you are in, so that because on my end it doesn't tell me what class you're coming at me from. So give me your name and the class that you're in, and we can have a nice little chat. Down here, this is one of your first assignments, is to submit a class picture. So when I log into my classes every day, I like to see your bright, shining faces smiling back at me. So I ask you guys to, as part of your assignment, to submit either a selfie or like a headshot. Keep in mind these are pretty small pictures, so don't give me like a big family portrait or anything. Or if you don't have a picture of yourself, you can submit like a logo or you know, lots of students like to do team logos or something artistic, something that represents you that you would like in place of your headshot, and that will go there. So that's our course homepage. Over here off to the left, this is the blue navigation bar, and this is where you'll find lots of information to kind of guide you through the course. The first link here is a link to our syllabus, and so just kind of some general information about the class. Definitely read through that to kind of get more information. This is an important link to our class calendar. So you'll notice that I have our entire course is set up and ready to go for the entire 18 weeks. So I have everything kind of spread out, and there's something for you that you should be working on each and every day. While at Insight, you should be working on, again, each of your classes. You should be logging in and working in each of your classes for at least an hour every day. So I have something assigned for you every day. Some days it might take you the full hour. Some days it might take you 20 minutes. So depending on what's assigned for that day. But if you stay on task and don't fall behind, you will be good to go. You also notice I'll have some take a breather days worked in here. Just because I know it can kind of get stressful and overwhelming to have so much to do all the time, so we do have a couple breaks worked in there. A couple important notes regarding the calendar. Assignments are due on the date that they are assigned. So on August 20th, the Section 2 quiz, it is due that day. It's assigned that day, and it's also due that day. So unless there's an assignment that says something like begin, like for instance with the study guide. You will begin the study guide on September 9th, but you won't submit it until October 2nd, when it says to actually complete and submit study guide. Or this Section 6 assignment Part 1. Actually, that's not a good one. Let's look at, oh gosh, I know I saw one. Maybe I'm thinking of a different course. Okay, sorry, maybe I'm thinking of a different class. But sometimes it might say like begin an assignment, continue an assignment, submit an assignment. So it's not due until it says it actually needs to be submitted in that case. So, and it looks like in this class it's just the study guide where I kind of set that up. So keep that in mind. And I guess for some of these assignments that have several parts, you'll have to read the directions, but sometimes I don't think, like for instance, I guess this was an example I was looking for. Begin Section 6 assignment Part 1. So it's not actually due until the 25th when it says to submit Section 6 assignment Part 1. Same with this begin Section 6 Part 2, submit Section 6 Part 2. So it's not due, in that case it's not due until it says submit, but every other one it's due on the date that it's assigned. Zeros will be entered into the grade book every Monday morning for uncompleted assignments from the previous week. So if you don't, let's say you don't get the Section 2 quiz taken this week, then that following Monday, so August 25th, that assignment would go in the grade book as a 0. You have the entire next week to get that assignment done without penalty, but then come August 31st, if that assignment's still not completed, that becomes a permanent 0 in the grade book and will no longer be accepted. So keep that in mind as you're working through the class. Don't let yourself fall behind. Stay on task, follow the calendar, and get everything submitted on time. I do allow for second attempts on quizzes and some writing assignments only during that 1 week grace period though. So again, you have that 1 week kind of grace period, and if you want to retake a quiz, I believe it's set for you to retake it twice if you want to. So you can do that within that week grace period if you're not happy with the first grade that you get. Items on the calendar in bold print means they count for a grade. So some days are just some reading assignments, and but anything that's bolded means that that is an actual graded assignment. So the study guide is a graded assignment. So make sure you are filling that out as you're reading through the course, and I always have you submit that right after you take the exam. So make sure you use that study guide. It's kind of there to help you take notes throughout the reading, and then you can use it on quizzes and exams to help you with those. Okay, last but not least, calendar is subject to change. So in case something comes up and I need to make a change to the calendar, just know that this is not set in stone, and I will alert you of any changes through the announcements or by K-mail. So just be on the lookout for that. You can download a copy of this calendar for yourself. My suggestion, and I strongly suggest this, would be to print off the calendar and use it as a daily checklist. So print this off, see what you need to be doing each day, and check it off as you go. My contact information is in here. There are essentially 3 different ways you can get a hold of me. I showed you the chat box on the home page. Then there's always K-mail. That's a great way to get a hold of me if you have a kind of a pressing question and you really want to get a hold of me right away. My phone number is here. So you can use one of those 3 ways to get a hold of me. Course help, academic integrity, read through those on your own. Some of these are only on the teacher's end that I see that you probably won't see. Class Connect sessions. Class Connects are held Mondays at 8:30. So these are required sessions, so you need to be there Monday bright and early at 8:30 in the morning and participate in our Class Connects. These are our live sessions. They're held once a week for this class. We'll kind of look at what's coming up for that week, discuss any kind of tougher concepts out of the curriculum, go over assignments together. Sometimes we'll review for exams. So lots of different stuff takes place in our Class Connect sessions, so make sure you're there. And again, these are Mondays at 8:30 a.m. Okay, this open classroom is another option that you have. If you're struggling in class or struggling on an assignment and you want some one-on-one help, I have this open classroom available. So this is something where you'll have to schedule with me ahead of time. I don't just sit in this classroom waiting for students to show up, but hit me up on the instant messenger or send me a K-mail saying, Mrs. Lamphere, I need some help on this assignment. Can we get together one-on-one in the open classroom this afternoon, tomorrow at 3, whatever it is, whenever it is you want to get in there, and we can do that in the open classroom. Okay, so first couple assignments, you should be watching this welcome video and answering the questions. Obviously, I don't have them posted yet because I'm in the process of recording this video right now. The class picture is also due, so this is kind of what it looks like once we get a whole bunch of pictures in there. Make sure you keep it appropriate, and so you will submit both the welcome video and the class picture to the appropriate Dropbox basket. And finally, we have this discussion posted. It's just a little getting to know you discussion. You will copy and paste these questions. You'll hit this respond button, paste the questions, and then write in your responses. And you will then post that response. And then in order to get full credit for this little assignment, you're going to need to respond to at least 2 other student posts. And so don't just post your responses, but kind of comment on some other students' posts. One you could comment on is mine. This is my post. Some information on me. These are my dogs, Duke and Duchess. So you can kind of read up a little bit more about me if you want to read through those. But then, yeah, be sure to post something about yourself. And then on Monday is when we really kind of get into the meat of this course. So we'll have you start reading through the text, completing some assignments. I believe our first class connects on Monday, so we'll kind of go over some things there and make sure you guys are good to go. So that about does it for this video. I think I've covered everything I want to cover. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I look forward to working with you in this class.